playing online with your friends and against other real humans to pursue these military objectives. You can play as the GDF or the Strog. You can pick a combat role really that suits your playing style. So I talked about playing Assault earlier, and that's this soldier guy here. You can have a big rocket launcher and run around blowing stuff up. Or medics, reviving your teammates and healing them. Engineers, deploying defense turrets, planting landmines. The field ops, who calls in big airstrikes and artillery attacks. Or even this guy, the spy, who can gather intelligence for your team. Of course, you can play the Strog, and they have a whole bunch of roles as well. But this is Steve, a guy from Activision, spawning into the game. Now the thing is, obviously with a game that's this deep, there can be a tendency for it to feel overwhelming at the start. So we have a thing called the mission system. And this tells you exactly where to go, what to do when you get there, and what your reward's going to be for success. So you'll see it fade out, and it's up in the top left-hand corner of the screen there. When you get given a mission, you know you're helping your team progress. You're not just kind of running around aimlessly deathmatching or capturing flags as you do in other games. So this guy we're behind now is an engineer, and it's his job to construct that generator to power up the island. He has to fight his way through to that location. Now the other thing is that in your inventory there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can use. So we have a thing called the use key, and this works really well on a console controller. You just hit one button and it finds the appropriate item in your inventory and uses it on the thing that you're trying to achieve. So what this means is that as a player, you know, when you're more advanced, you can pre-select something like a heavy explosive charge and run in with it like a football. But when you're learning how to play, you don't have to understand all that stuff. You just hit your use key, it does the right thing when you're facing an objective. We have some pretty advanced vehicle physics in the game that mean you can do the kind of tactical thing like shooting wheels off of vehicles rather than just trying to blow them up completely. So you can play the game actually strategically rather than just mindlessly, you know.
Blowing it up.
Right.
Alright.
And then obviously, because the game has a series of moves that you can make and then counters and counter-counters, there's always something you can do to get it back. And in this case, with a pair of pliers, you can repair the wheel.
Wow. Well, it's a lot different than Frogger.
Right.
And,
it's moved on a bit.
Yeah.
Well, now, the other thing, of course, is that although your team might have vehicles that you're pushing forward and trying to take an objective, of course, they can put up defenses as well, like this anti-vehicle turret, which is able to take out your vehicles. So now a soldier on your team is going to get a mission to take out that anti-vehicle turret that they've placed. So you can have a whole bunch of people on your team doing all kinds of things, playing their combats really well. You don't have to understand any of that stuff. You don't need to know that, you know, what the anti-vehicle turret does or why it's a threat to your team. You're just going to get a mission to go blow it up. And that's what he did. He put a heavy explosive charge on it, and it explodes the anti-vehicle turret up, and he actually got a promotion for that, so that's pretty cool. The other side of the game is that he got a promotion. Yeah. You can deploy a whole bunch of stuff in the game like radars, artillery guns, defense turrets. This is an artillery gun that he's deploying now. We saw, you know, as that vehicle, the Badger truck, was approaching the base and got blown up by the anti-vehicle turret, and there are other defense turrets there as well. So he can use this device to target that location and call in an artillery strike from that gun. And there are a whole bunch of deployments. You can put down radar to gather intelligence on the enemy. You can put down a defense turret that will just shoot at personnel. In fact, they can put down a shield generator that will stop this from happening by effectively vaporizing the shells as they come down out of the atmosphere. And you can play a kind of quieter version of the game as well. You don't actually have to fire a single shot in this game.